Hi, my name is Marie Krebs, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the lore that is in my series, This Realm Called Earth. There are some spoilers in this, so if you haven't read the first book, then I suggest you go read it, because I will definitely have spoilers for Squeeze Your Heart. In Squeeze Your Heart, we meet Melissa, who is a half Selkie and half human, and we are also briefly introduced to her brother Joey and her mother Martha, who is the full Selkie. So with Selkies in my series, they're a very mysterious race. We don't know which realm they hail from. They keep to themselves, and even amongst other races from other realms, they don't let on that they are Selkie because they are a dying race. They're hard to find, and no one really knows a lot about them anymore, and they like it that way. I haven't established a lot of lore for them because they are so mysterious and they keep to themselves because they have basically died out as a race. In Squeeze Your Heart, we also meet Rob. This is a spoiler if you haven't read the book. He's a fairy. I can't talk about fairy lore that much yet because most of it is brought up in later books. But I can say that Rob is a recurring character that will be seen in almost every single book in this series because he is the guy that knows everyone. We don't really touch on what his occupation is. Alyssa doesn't really find out. This is from her point of view. So she doesn't really find out in the book. She finds out later. And part of his job is kind of knowing who's who amongst all the races. So Rob will just kind of randomly meet people and be like, oh yeah, I know you and your dad and his mom and his dad and his mom. I mean, it just goes on forever and ever. He just kind of knows everyone because he's an ancient fae and he's been on Earth for thousands of years. When he came over from fairy realm, he basically just went to Ireland and stayed there for a very, very, very long time, which is why he has an Irish accent. There will be later books that will talk a lot about fairy realm and all of the hierarchies there and all of the kind of madness that goes on in fairy realm. They're interdimensional gateways in different cities all throughout the world. So Squeeze Your Heart does leave a lot of questions unanswered that you will have to read further books to find out the answers to all these questions about the different realms and the lore and the different races, all the background information about the different races that are on Earth now and how they differ from their own clans and families back on their original realms. I've got Radical Edward comforting me as I try to get my thoughts together about my own established lore. I made it, and I just have such a hard time talking about it for some reason. I don't know why. So some humans are doing pretty well adapting to these other races coming to Earth, and some are not taking it so well, and sometimes there are protests and rallies at the interdimensional gateways that are pretty horrible. Anywho, I did want to establish Melissa and Rob's relationship in book 1 because he will definitely be seen again, and she will pop up here and there too. Like I said, kind of more questions than answers at the end of this book, but I set that up on purpose, so you kind of have to read the other books to find out more about what's going on in these different realms. Thank you for watching my random musings about the lore in book 1, Squeeze Your Heart, of the series This Realm Called Earth.